Hey, what is up, guys? Today I wanted to bring you guys a review on this new controller that I just received from Razer. It is called the Razer Sabertooth, and this is what it looks like. This controller, it's pretty sweet. It has so many customizable options. One thing that I do want to point out is that it's very similar to a SCUF in terms of it having paddles and extra buttons. But the thing about a SCUF that you can do with this is once you get the A button or the B button programmed to the paddle on a SCUF, you can't really remove it unless you send it back in. But the thing about this controller is you can change it on the fly, and I'll actually show you how. And I'll show you all the extra buttons and all the cool features it has. So I'm gonna get started first with just the basic controller. This is what the controller comes with. These green little grip things are separate. You don't really need them. So if you like the plain old black dome sticks, you can go ahead and get those and just keep them. Or not dome sticks, but black sticks. You can keep them like that and just play like this. I personally like the little green rubbers. They fit really well in the controller, and personally they feel great. It reminds me of the feel that my dome stick SCUF used to have when I used to use this SCUF. Currently, right now, I actually use this Razer. I think it's a really good product, and it has a lot of cool features that people might not really understand. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my Xbox so this thing powers up, and I can show you more of the features. You might hear it in the background. Come on. Okay. So as you can see, when it does turn on, it lights up. You can actually remove this if you don't like the lights and you don't like the whole thing. What you do is this panel right here, this little panel right here that lights up, this controls like the controller. You can pretty much edit whatever the hell you want to do here, and I'll show you how right now. So if you press the button, I'm not sure if this is the button on my left, this will take you to the program mode. This is where you program buttons, but you don't need to go through that. So once you hit that button, you can hit up and down the D-pad to change the options. Press down, you go to test mode. Test mode allows you to test the stick, like the sticks, to see if they're at 100%. Like let's say you push this way and it's not 100%, that means it's not no slow. Like sometimes they'll mess up. This controller unfortunately does not have those problems, which is good. They fix the stick problems that a lot of controllers have, considering a lot of controllers just don't have no slow. No slow is basically so that you turn the same direction, the same amount every single time, and it doesn't mess you up. You can also turn on the rumble. I'm not sure if you'll be able to actually hear this, but once you go to that little rumble option, it's kind of hard to see because, well, the camera won't pick it up. It says rumble. I click A, and it says rumble off. And then if I push down, it says rumble on. If I put it, I can put it on or off. And then I click it, and you'll hear it. It rumbles for a second. You'll actually feel it in your hands, so you know that you changed the option. Another cool option, again, like I said, is that you can change the backlight. So you go down to the little backlight option, and once you're there, you hit the A button. It says, "Are you sure?" Turns off the backlight. So you can pretty much do whatever you want with the whole lighting, the sticks, all that nonsense. And once you press the start button or whatever this button, not the start button, but the bottom right button here, it turns on the light again. Okay, now I'm going to really get into the details of the controller. So, things that are really nice about this controller: it has a really nice feeling D-pad. The D-pad feels really nice. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can see it better. It's really easy to press. It's not like hard or stiff or anything like that. So it's a good D-pad. These buttons here aren't actual like pressable buttons. They're mechanical buttons. They don't really like go down or anything like that. You can just you can hear them click. They're just mechanical. And now I'm going to get into the part where it's kind of like getting really complicated. It's like a SCUF. So here you have these paddles on the back. These paddles, or I wouldn't call them paddles. I don't know. I'd just call them buttons, or I don't know, swings or whatever the hell, because this is the cool thing about them. So as you see, they're marked here: M4, M3, M2, and M. What is that? 6? No, M4, M3, M6, and M5. Sorry about that. I'm looking at the camera. So the thing that's cool about them is you can program each feature to do a button. So let's say you want this one to jump, you can program it to jump. Let's say you want this one to knife or B, you can program it to B. And then if you want the top one to be X, you can do that, and the top one to be Y. So you can sit here and when you hold your controller like this, or however you play, you can press down and then up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and you can just swivel like that. You can swivel. Personally, I think it's in a better position than the Scuff, and it's pretty easy to fit your fingers in there because they kind of just like, you know, they glide right in there. It's a little dome concave. It's concave rather, so it fits your fingers right in there. Okay, so that's not even all. You already have 4 extra programmable buttons that you can choose to program any feature. So let's say you want it to be, you can even make this the trigger if you really want to. All you have to do is, again, I'll show you. You press the other button right over here. It says profile. This is a profile 1 and profile 2. This is how you can switch to 2 profiles. Each profile you can make a different thing, and you can switch. So let's say you're playing Call of Duty and you want this to be A and B. You can make it A and B. Let's say you're playing another game and you have a different preference, different setting. You can make it that setting and just easily switch to it by switching profiles between 1 and 2 right here. Oh, sorry about that. Once you're ready to program, again, you hit this button right here, and it'll take you to program mode. And then once you're in program mode, you go to one of the programmable buttons. So you hold this button, the M6. Okay, so M6, and then it'll come up. It'll come up on the on the little screen. It says M6 or something like that. It'll come up on that cam, and it'll basically tell you M6 and they'll tell you what it's already programmed to. On my screen it says M6 is set to B. So now let's say I want it to set to frickin' X, for example. All I have to do is hold the button on the back, hold the button that you're trying to program. So you notice when I press it, hold it, and you press the button. So I want it to be X now. Boom, it turns to X. Say I want it to go back to B, you hold the button, boom, it's back at B. And then once you're set, you just re-click this bottom left button and you can get away from the program mode and start playing. Another cool feature is these buttons. I need to be able to show you these. Hold on. Need a little bit better lighting. So, not sure if you'll be able to. Actually, here you go. Whoa, what did I do? Okay. Let me fix this. So, you see these buttons right about here where my finger is? Right there. Those are not bumpers. These are the bumpers. These are the extra buttons. They have one on each side of the controller. So you're going to have 2 extra buttons. So not only do you have the 4 programmable buttons on the back, but you have the extra 2 buttons on the front. And what I do, here's a tip for those of you that play Call of Duty, if you do decide to get this controller, if you use a FAL, if you use any gun or whatever, any semi-automatic gun, and use the trigger, there's a little latency as the trigger goes down that sometimes causes the gun to get stuck because you're not going all the way down and you just keep tapping it halfway. With a button, there's no latency. Once you hit the button, the gun shoots, and you can constantly just hit that button to make it shoot. So guns like the FAL, any semi-automatic pistols, anything like that, you can shoot at crazy speeds. So what I do now is I don't even use the triggers. I just use the little extra buttons. I program this to right trigger, I program this to left trigger, and then that's how I play. And even then, if you don't want to use those buttons to shoot, these triggers, just like a SCUF controller, are lowered. They're lowered a tiny bit so that they're more sensitive. Therefore, the latency is reduced. So, for those of you that have used a SCUF controller, if you lower it with the Allen key, once you barely touch it, it actually responds. Same with this controller, except you don't need the Allen key. It's already set that way. So, really, it has all the features that like a SCUF controller would have, but most of them are built in and you can change them. You don't have to send it back to the warehouse or do anything like that, which is why I like this controller. Both controllers are great products, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to badmouth SCUF, but I'm basically stating what this controller does better. A few things that you can't do with this controller is you can't get any custom designs, at least that I don't know of yet. It's a pretty new controller. And it's pretty cheap. It's only like I think $80 at the store or not the store, but on the Razer website. Not sure if they have them up for sale to the public or if they're sold out. So if you want to buy one, I'm not sure if you can get one yet. Another cool few things is, let's say you don't like the paddles. You actually have, hold on, let me grab this for a second. The controller comes with this awesome, neat case, and inside the case come those little rubbers that I have right there. And then in this little baggie, there's little covers and also a screw. This screw you can actually use to remove the paddle. If you want to remove I keep calling them paddles, but I'll call them the rockers because they're like they rock back and forth. So you can actually use them to remove the rockers, and these little plastic things that come in this bag, you insert them in the back so there's no gap. So really, like, they pretty much cover all the bases of the controller, and they make sure that you don't have an uncomfortable feeling. The controller itself feels nice in your hand. A few things is, like, I feel like a controller that isn't like a scuff, sometimes I'll get sweaty hands. I noticed that, like, with a lot of these type of controllers, with, like, I don't know if it's the paint or something, but like a scuff controller doesn't nearly get me as sweaty as this controller would. For those of you that have sweaty hand problems. Other things about the controller that are nice. Well, it's a pretty solid controller. Honestly, they stepped it up from the Anza. It looks great, feels great, it plays well. I've been non-stop grinding for the last like 2-3 days with this controller, and it's survived my test. A lot of controllers, once you start using it for like 3-4 days straight and you go hard as nails, they start to wear out and they just don't perform as well. This controller does not have this problem. It's a great model, and honestly, I like it. I do like it a lot. So if you guys are interested in this product, go ahead and purchase one on their websites. It's pretty sweet. If you have any questions about it, go ahead and ask me on Twitter. I'll be happy to answer. I'm going to be using this controller. It is tournament legal. The only type of tournament controller that is not legal is the ones where you can program like macros, where it's like, if I were to press this button on the back and it were to hit A, B, X, Y, R all at the same time, like in a row, that would be illegal. But this is like a scuff, except you can change it on the fly. So realistically, it's not like it's awful or it's a mod or it's rapid fire. Honestly, I do think these are kind of modded, but it's not like a macro controller or anything like that, or like a rapid fire controller. So anyways, thank you guys for watching the review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and this makes your decision better on which controller to buy. Both controllers are awesome. I did a scuff review before. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either product. It really all depends on the preference and the player. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Oh, I'm coming back to YouTube, and I'm going to be uploading a few more videos. I have like a 97 bomb on League Play that I got. I don't know. I'm just going to start uploading some more stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Anyways, again, see you guys later. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at @impact_parasite, and follow my team Twitter at @impactcod. Anyways, see you guys later.